So we'll do a little bit throughout the class today, but I just want to begin by using a hand, and we're going to go same side of body. You can go left lung or right lung. And for right now, let's just feel the top lobe of the lung, because we have a top lobe in each lung, and the lungs are a little bit different. Okay. And I know it's easier to cross the body, but we'll do same side. And so the collarbone, the top border of the shoulder blade bone, and it's not so much breathing into the lung or breathing into the space of the lung, but more of feeling the cells call for breath. Feeling that call and that urge and that instinct and that just that natural rhythm of desiring life. We don't have circulation without the lungs. And the lungs are absolutely essential to our voice and our expression. And then let's make sure that we have some moments, some breath moments without the hand there. So those of you joining us, it's we're lung, we're in our lung, the top lobe of one of our lungs. And if you had been speaking or been able to hear your voice prior to us sitting together, you might just sound out a little bit now or use a little humming and feel if the awareness of the lung can be felt as voice. You can feel a difference in the sides of the lung. Every time I've done this, I've felt a distinct kind of resonance with the lung, and especially so with sound. We'll place the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. And we'll do the other sides and the lungs will be featured throughout our practice. but having perhaps a noticeable difference, even if subtle, a distinct, maybe subtle difference in the sides of your lungs. Let's try that out with reach. So we're going to do a couple things. One, reach the arms straight up. You can inhale. And then as we exhale, just bring the hands down. You can just feel if the shoulders of the arms feel like they reach differently. Let's do one or two more. So I'm inhaling as I reach the arms up with that awareness of one of the upper lobes of my lung. I will leave that left arm up. Set the right hand down, exhaling, moving into a side bend. So momentarily here, so if I get this right, the left side typically has 2 lobes and the right side has 3. Now some studies have said, well, we actually see some extra lobes in some people's left. So again, it's a little different than breathing into the lung. I'm not projecting breath into the lung, but really feeling the awareness and the breathingness of all of the cells collectively called lung. I'm really listening to respiration on a much more cellular level than a mechanical up, down, in, out level. They're all correct. They're all ways that we breathe. But there's maybe a slightly different rhythm when we listen to the cells. And you may start to notice if you kind of push or drive the breath in, like, oh, I got to make a real forceful effort here. Right? I'm going to release my left hand from my left side ribs, re-enter side bend. And inhale, come on up. I really enjoy, it's a little perspectival shift, but now the poses are done on behalf of the consciousness of the cells. Right? This is different than doing it for a tight muscle or, to get the right alignment, right? Okay. So first we'll reach the right arm up and over, side bend. I just want you to get a feel for that reach and the feeling and the quality around the right side lung. And I'll take that right hand and bring it to your right side. Again, just elevating our lung awareness. Yeah, it's got to be 2 lobes on the right and 3 on the left because of the liver. But I could be wrong, and I will come back tomorrow with supplying the correct answer. It's good to have accurate images. Okay, I'm going to release the right hand from the ribs and reach again. Side bend. And release the right hand down. Come upright. If the legs need a little help together, please do. Let's set up Dolphin. So in this Dolphin, this might be worth repeating just in a brief way. As I'm on my forearms and my knees, and I'm just issuing a little push. And it's coming from the forearms. I'm literally using my arms to pull myself forward. I'm not using my toes to push. And then I'm pushing with my forearms back. So I'm getting the sense of my arms pulling my body through space and retreating back. And then once the shoulders are over the elbows, on exhale, we'll press the knees up. So even though I'm rather static or unmoving, I'm not sawing my body back and forth in Dolphin, I can energetically, I can feel as if I'm both pulling and pushing, unmovingly, but pulling and pushing. The consciousness is a little different. When I pull and push, I'm often not disjointing, right, my arm from my torso. When I feel as if I'm pulling my body through space and and pushing my body back through space. There's often a much more unified quality through the whole shoulder complex. And feeling into the back of the lung. Now, in each of our lungs, the lowest lobe tends to cover up that middle lobe. So it kind of extends and overlaps what's above it. Gently set the knees down. Slide the hands under the shoulders. Exhaling, press back, downward dog. And activate. Get a little line of zest going through those inner arms, which can be done but just by, again, static. So my shoulders aren't going to push into my jaw, but I squeeze my inner arms, my biceps inwardly. I can pull the ground apart outwardly with my hands. Again, squeezing, gathering the ground, gathering the space between the arms. Pulling the hands apart, widening. Again, the hands aren't moving for any of this, but we're turning on the arms. Inhale, step any foot forward so that you can turn into a neutral wide stance or a symmetrical wide stance. Okay, and it's here in this wide stance, we'll do a little bit of abdominal stuff. So, bending knees and coming into a horse stance or horse stance light. Again, this is so we can feel the pelvic floor. If you go so deep and so wide that you're just kind of pulling and hanging onto your ligaments, it might be a little too far for us today. Just there's the pelvic floor. There. All right. Inhale, bring the hands up to heart level. And exhale, reach or pass the hands toward the sky. Exhale everything out. Remain empty. You may want to employ a little bit of a chin, a neck bandha, a little lock. And pull the belly in and release it several times. Pull the belly in and release. Pull the belly in, stretching the chest up and the arms up. Let the belly go. Right, inhale, bring the hands around in front of the heart. You gotta have a moment of sensing the heart, feeling where is that thing. Exhale the hands out to the sides. All right, remain empty. Draw the belly in, stretching the palms out. Let the belly go. Several times, belly. I'm gonna draw you in and back and up. And release, and pulling it in and release. Okay, inhale, stretch the arms up overhead, draw them down over your midline. And exhale the palms forward. pulling the belly in, Agnisara, releasing it, pulling it in, letting it go, pulling it in, letting it go, pulling it in, letting it go. And then inhale, draw the hands toward you, toward your lungs, toward your heart. Exhale, palms down, down toward the earth. Remain empty. Agnisara, drawing the belly in and releasing. Straighten legs for a moment. Okay. We'll set the hands down to step back into downward dog. So however, I don't know if that's to your left or your right, but just set the hands down, passing back into downward dog. And now, maybe there's a tad more leg awareness. And tweezing those inner arms, those arm lines. Wrapping the shoulders or pulling the hands apart. Relaxing between the sit bones. Even as you're using your inner legs, the groin, the inner leg, to draw you back. And use the arms as it's part of helping temporarily change the structure of our ribs and our abdomen. It's giving those lungs another way to be explored and filled and moved and felt. So I really encourage us not to just let the arms go kind of limp and noodly, because reaching those arms out really starts to get us into that mid-back and upper back. And these are nerves that supply our heart and our lung, especially up in the upper T, like below the neck, just below the neck. So all these little wrapping moves, feel for freeing those upper ribs, those spine bones. And just feel as breath get to the top border of your shoulder blades, underneath the middle of your shoulder blades. Be really soft. Once in a while, I'll feel some really aggressive breathing, like I'm gonna get this. And it might be helpful to listen to the nerves and listen to the pains of the body, the stories of the body. Inhale, step the left foot forward, warrior two. Okay, and draw the arms behind back, interlace, chest opener. So leading with the breath and really foregrounding. Feeling sensitivity for these lungs. When we release the hands, there was one side of your lung that we had not put a hand on yet. So let's go do that. Let's be with that second side. So when we just began, we had put one hand on one upper lobe of lung, and now we do the other side. So again, collarbone, the top border, the top kind of lip of your shoulder blade. And attuning to the lung. Again, when I'm not projecting breath in there, I'm really starting to listen for how the lung expresses its lungness. The lungs are absolutely vital to our expression, right? And when we release, inhale, reach arms out. Remain right here in Warrior Two. Exhale, allow the shoulders to soften around the lungs. There we go. That's really sweet. Inhale, bring the hands down around your left foot. Exhale, step that left foot back and let's lower all the way down to the ground. So I'm going to leave my legs as is. If you have some sacral concerns, you may want to insert a block between your ankles. I'm just going to fly without shoulder shrugs. Bring the hands off to the sides of your shoulders. Shift the tailbone down toward the earth. Inhale. Raise the hands, elbows, and the sternum lifts a little bit. I'm not trying to crank it back, but it does lift. Exhale, squeeze muscles around the tops of the shoulder blades, and then the middle parts of the shoulder blades, and then the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Let's do that twice more. Inhaling. And then exhaling, one squeeze at the top, another squeeze around the middle part of the lungs, another squeeze by the bottom lobes of the lungs. One more on your own. And release. Let the weight of the chest go to the ground so that when you take this next breath, and you might want to, with the sternum and the chest resting on the ground, you can feel breath under the spine bones in the back where you had just squeezed. So you get a little moment. To feel breath in the places where you just gathered some effort and some attention. So you want to make good use of those attentional highlight moments. Yeah? Inhale, hands under the shoulders, under the chest. Exhale, push the earth, downward dog. If you're using those arm lines, those exact same places you had squeezed, you may be able to feel your breath kind of spreading and moving and inquiring into those upper thoracic, those upper spinal joints, upper rib spine joints. Inhale the right foot forward, Warrior Two. Okay. All right, so we're going to go over the middle of the lung, both hands. So I've got my right hand on my right lung, my left hand on my left lung. And again, it's more, I realize we often work with words. They're shorthand for, getting into the action. But again, rather than project or deliver breath into the lung, listen to lung cells being their lung cell self. Listen out to how they respire. So that we truly are breathing and moving in accord with consciousness in this particular body, this particular day. Good. Interlace the hands behind the back, chest opener. So I'm gently sending the knuckles down, lifting the chest up. And as I lift the chest, maybe this will help, Natalia, I'm not impacting or squashing my thoracic joints, my upper back, ribs, and spine joints. So I'm lifting and I'm lengthening through the back of my body as I lift my chest. So you can feel for that. We want to lift the chest, but we don't want to do it at the expense of the vessels and the nerves on the backside of our lungs and heart. And then release hands. Inhale the hands out to the side, the arms out to the side. And exhale, allow the shoulders to relax around the lung. Again, the lungs are going to help supply our expression and our voice with regards to any of our experience. Even our pelvic experience, our leg experience, the lungs are a part of their expression too. Okay? So it's okay if we're in a little bit of a heated stance, right? Yeah. All right, inhale, bring the hands down around that right foot. Exhale, step the right foot back, and we'll lower, plank to ground. I promise we're getting the legs warm with reason. Cobra. Reach back through the legs, shifting the tailbone just slightly toward the earth. More that I'm relaxing it toward the earth. Inhale. Pulling the chest forward again without compromising those nerves and vessels in the back side. I can arch without smashing. Exhale, lower down, downward dog. On downward dog, give ourselves just a few moments so that we can remember how to work these arms vibrantly over our head. I'm simultaneously tweezing the biceps and the thumbs toward each other, which should free up the side of the neck. And as you pull the hands apart, the pinkies apart, those are the outer lines of the arm. So getting them both. Getting the inner tweeze and the outer pull apart together. And feel if that mid back can lengthen subtly and gently from that upper back. Yeah, it gets real in there, Vijay. I'm with you. All right, inhale, I believe we started left side forward first. I'm going to add a little bit of padding to the right knee. Lunge, drawing the arms up. And again, rather than just hiking my hands up into the air, can I do that with lung awareness as I'm feeling the wakefulness of these lungs we've come to learn and know our every metabolic need. Place the left hand on the left thigh, right hand can grab ankle. Heel to butt lunge. And yeah, as much as you want to come into that, Tara, as long as the knees feel good, we can lean in a touch. You know, I can pull and push the earth here with my feet and with my legs. It's kind of like using the inner arms and the outer arms, right? I can draw the earth, draw myself across the earth. I can retreat from the earth. That's a very different way of feeling the body. Okay, let's set that right foot down. Inhale, hands to ground, under the shoulders. Exhale, we'll step left foot back, chaturanga. Now, you get to select if it's upward dog for you right now or cobra. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, downward dog. Lunge other side, inhale the right foot forward. And I'm setting the left knee down on padding. Yeah, I'm just trying to help us get explore moving through the world in these little snapshots called poses. Because really, our muscles, there's so much of life experience that happens before we even really develop fully our muscles and our fascial slings. There's so much of how we learned life that came on before muscles learned. Right? So we didn't drop it from the stork's beak knowing what a hip flexor was. But we certainly did learn how to advance through the world, retreat through the world, reach into the world. Okay, heel to butt lunge, right hand on right leg, left hand grab left ankle. And I can let my lungs be a part of the telling of this experience, right? And can I feel my lungs expressing my lunge experience. And we're always expressing through the breath. The breath is an expression of our every moment. I'm going to release that left foot down. Inhale, hands under shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. Step back. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. You choose. Each one can be done by opening through the chest and remaining free and articulate through the upper back. Exhale, downward dog. Find those arms. Press, reach, gather. And listen to the lungs express the arm experience, the downward dog experience. Listen to what the lungs say, if you will, about this moment. So maybe we have that notion that to express, we've got to think about it and curate it and craft it and edit it. But we have an unmediated experience that needs no editor right here from our body. All right, let's gently set the knees down as we're setting up for bridge and then Shavasana. Here's the thing with bridge. I'm setting up with a loop. You see this loop? It's about shoulder width or shorter or less. I will be doing bridge with one leg up and one ankle in the loop. This may not be the preferred method for you, so I want to offer some options. Some options are you can just keep both hands in the loop and reach no leg up. So that's an option. You can choose another back bend if you like. So there might be one or two of us who, because of neck situation, may not want to do bridge. But maybe you can do another form of chest opening or back bend, or maybe you want to do another form of lunge on each side. Okay. I'll talk us through bridge with a loop. The hands will grab the loop and one leg up. So I'll begin looping the right ankle. Feet set up, hip width. And exhaling, we'll shift the tailbone up, the buttock lifts, and reach both hands under your trunk and find the loop. Hold on to that loop with both hands. Connect to breath, not just to shove breath and air molecules in and through your body, but to feel and listen to the lungs and the heart. They're telling a story through blood. And when you're ready, raise the left leg. There's also the option to leave the left foot on the ground. And when we set that left foot down, you might be able to slip it directly into the loop without exiting bridge. So we'll attempt to remain in bridge. Left foot steady, steady contact with the earth. Both hands have the loop that's now connected to the left ankle. Remain here, or if you're raising your right leg, let us. And set the right foot down in bridge. Release the loop. Just let the hands go. 3 more deep, lung exploring breaths. If you were working the legs, there's a demand. There's probably a bit of a cellular demand for blood, for oxygen, for fuel. So we really don't have to force ourselves to breathe more. We just have to listen to our body, ask for it, and participate with the supply and the circulation of it. And we'll begin our descent, bring the upper back down. And that upper back is where those lung and heart nerves are. And bringing the mid-spine down. You get into mid-spine, we're getting into diaphragm nerves and organ nerves. A low back down. And the sacrum. All right, once you have lowered, back release of your choice. I'm just going to grab my knees, both of them. I'm just going to hug my thighs toward the side of torso. Now, the hug is great, but the breath is even better. So letting the breath meet those lower back nerves and discs. Letting the pelvic floor grow relaxed and breath responsive. And then setting the feet down once you feel amply kind of relaxed in the back. And we're moving into Shavasana. This can be as simple as just tenting your knees together, or as elaborate as getting props and a wall nearby. And you may even take this occasion to bless or thank these lungs, these great suppliers and companions of heart, these storytellers, expressors. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. Press to seated. I love being with you. Namaste.